Let's dive into this week's Ask the Herbalist topic. So this week we are talking about how to build a routine with herbs. And I'm actually going to read the question that came in so that you know exactly what was asked. And I feel like this is something that I hear over and over again. So it's a great one to cover today. The question is, I'd love to know more about building routine with herbs. The herbal botany and body anatomy inner workings are so juicy, I agree. But despite being highly interested and quite the bookworm about herbs, I struggle with a daily practice. Not sure why. Maybe it's because I don't know where to start. Ultimately, it's a bit overwhelming for what to incorporate, when, on a daily basis, and I'd love to hear your input. Daily use versus special or seasonal use versus adaptogens, what a typical day would look like, and thank you for all you do. So thank you for asking that question. It's great, and obviously there are lots of questions in that question, so it's the one I'm going to focus on today. And if you have more today, feel free to send them in, but this is going to be the focus, and we'll go from there. So building a routine with herbs, I'm going to give you 5 steps. And hopefully this will take you from wherever you are to the next level in your routine, your herbal practice, your health. So the first step is a question: what do you need? What do you need? Not what does the wellness industry say that you need. Not what does, your best friend say you need. Now, a best friend might be a really good, person to suggest for you, but really, what do you need? And a lot of times, in this world of health and wellness becoming more and more popular, there's a lot of input in terms of what everybody else is doing and therefore what we need. And that can be helpful for raising awareness about certain things, but it isn't necessarily what you and your body need. So I'll give some examples of common things that people might need. I might need stress support, right? I might need digestive support. I might need hair, skin, nail support. But because you are here with me, you know how I work, the first question to ask is, what is causing that need? What is causing indigestion? What is causing stress? What is causing disrupted sleep or disrupted skin or those sorts of things? And that is where the magic happens, because otherwise we're choosing herbs and supplements to treat symptoms, and we're constantly putting band-aids on things instead of addressing the cause. So you can use herbs and supplements. Sometimes they're not the right answer, sometimes they are, but we have to do our best to treat the cause. Now, we can treat both at the same time, but I don't have to explain to you why we would not want to only treat symptoms, right? It's never going to get better. If we treat the cause, we may never need to treat the symptoms because they might just go away, right? Because we treated the cause. So what do you need? What is causing that need? And then let's look for herbs and supplements and nutrition and lifestyle adjustments and whatever is the right medicine to treat that need. And that's the wonderful thing about herbalism. We consider breath medicine, we consider light medicine, consider water medicine, food, sleep, and herbs. Okay, so number 1, what do you need? And then to move on to number 2, so we've identified the cause. What category of herbs treats that cause? And a category of herbs is what's going to allow you to narrow down the thousands and thousands of medicinal plants that are out there into a few that you can work with on a regular basis. So for example, I need stress support. My nervous system is fried. It's coming from my work-life balance and my relationship and my kids, and this is not me. I'm speaking on behalf of a hypothetical person here, right? And I'm doing my best. Like, I've set boundaries with work. I've set boundaries in my relationship, or we got a therapist, and I'm doing, I made the lifestyle adjustments, and now I just want some herbal support as well, right? So we have to address the cause and get the herbal support in there. So then let's say we would want nervous system support. That category of herbs is nervines. Nervines or nervines support the nervous system. And there's like 20 of them. All of a sudden, this world of, 10,000 medicinal plants is now 20. And you're like, oh, sweet. I can take a blend that includes like 7 and I'm in really good shape, right? You've just really whittled it down to the things that you need. So say, what do you need? And then number 2 is what category of herbs is going to support that need? And you'll have to do a little bit of research. So you could look at Mountain Rose Herbs, has a good list of categories of herbs. You can ask me, you can ask another herbalist, but you can see, categories of herbs and the systems they support. So for example, herbal bitters for digestion, nervines for the nervous system, sedatives for sleep, antidepressant herbs to help lift mood, herbs for pain. It would be an analgesic or an anti-inflammatory. So just choose that category and then get to know what collection of herbs are in that category, right? Now, so the next one is going to be choosing the format. Number 3 will be choosing the format that your herbs come in. When you're in that category of herbs and you're moving on to finding your supplement, right? You want to blend. So as you've heard me say many times before, historically and globally, herbs are usually used in blends. And it gives you a better chance of efficacy if you're using 7 instead of 1. And if you're using an herbalist designed product or one designed by a very good company, which I recommend, then there'll be synergy. And the herbs will work better than they do as singles because someone with the know-how will have combined the plants in a way that 1 + 1 = 5 or 1 + 1 = 20, and these herbs will be working in a synergistic way with each other and with your body to help you out. So you've got your category and then you get a blend of herbs from that category. Let's see what our next step is. Choose a format. So what works for your life? Do you love tea? Do you hate tea? Do you think tinctures are cool? Capsules? Powders? What format works? And you'll want to consider what format do you find those herbs in. So if you cannot find, blue vervain tea or bacopa tea, you can't find bacopa tea. That's because bacopa tastes awful. And so you don't want it in a tea because you'll never drink it. I'll never drink it. It's the most bitter thing I've ever tasted. But you can find bacopa in capsules all day long. So that's a great way to take it. So think about what format are you going to take actually in your life and what format do these herbs work in. And remember, get it in a blend. And you can do multiple. So let's say you're like, oh, this whole category looks really good to me. There's like 10 herbs I really want to work with. They're all for my nervous system, right? Because we're staying focused on one thing only to start. So get a little tea, have some tincture in the tea, and maybe take some capsules, in the afternoon. Now that's how you do it. You mix them all up, but you're staying focused on one category of herbs, right, for your one system. And it's gotta be a format you're gonna use. So we have 2 steps left, 4 and 5. Number 4 is make it a routine. So plan when you're actually gonna take these herbs. And I do so much of this with clients. So much of the work is, I forgot to take it, I'm not taking it 3 times a day, I lost it, I fell off, whatever it is. So getting back on track. So to make it routine, I would say plan that it's gonna be a month to test these herbs. And you're probably gonna wanna take them every single day. You might be taking them multiple times per day. Many herbs love to be taken all day long, right? And figure out a way that you're going to actually do it and not forget. And maybe you're even gonna like it. So maybe you have to buy multiple bottles. And you have one in your kitchen, you have one on your desk, you have one in your car or at work. Maybe you have to buy one bottle but separate it out so it's all in those multiple places. Put it in your calendar. Use Post-it notes. Use an accountability buddy. Do all of the above. So like my whole life is in my calendar. It's like, you're getting ready now, you're eating dinner now, you're taking your melatonin now, so that I don't even have to think about it. And I just, like, that reminds me, right? Things that are tricky to remember. Find multiple fail-safe systems so you'll actually make them part of your routine. And because you're only focusing on one thing, you don't have to remember to take all 12 supplements. You're just taking one set, right? That's your focus for the month. I'm just taking Nervines for my nervous system for the next 4 weeks. That's it, right? Because when you actually do that and it becomes second nature and a lifestyle for you, then you're not thinking about it and it's easy, and then you can add something else on, add something else on, add something else on. And that's how I've gotten to, like, you know, a 35-step routine, because it's just lifestyle. It's just the way that it happens, right? It's just nature. I don't think about it. It takes me 4 seconds to do, and then it just happens. So the way we start is one change at a time, okay? And that's really step 5. It's like, once it's second nature, decide if you still want it. Do you not need it anymore? Or do you love it and you want to add something else on? So then you start over and go back to the beginning. What do I need? What does my body need? Not what's the world telling me I need. What do I need? What's causing it? Are herbs the right solution? Maybe you're like, no, not really, but I want herbs too. Okay, that's fine. Just do both. And then choose the category. And then find a blend within that category. And then marry it for 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, that's it. That's how to make herbs a routine, or supplements, or anything else. What questions do you have? I'll have a drink of my water and wait. Questions, anybody? If not, we can wrap up. Just scrolling back here to see if we have any other questions. Looks like not. I'm glad you're all here. Chronic hives. So my question is, what is causing them? And while I wait for that answer, the next question is, what is your current favorite herb? Oh, you know, it probably changes every week. But let's see. Right now, I'm really, really busy. It's the busiest we've been in a long time. And so I am kind of pounding passion flower. And at the doses that I'm using, sometimes it can be a sedative, but I have so much energy that it's not a sedative for me. So I'm really leaning into that one. And I even have it right here. See, I'm like carrying it around with me. So I have this bottle, and it's 1,000 milligrams of passion flower, which passion flower needs to be dosed pretty high. And I'm taking like several a day because I know what I'm doing. I'm not recommending everyone just pound their herbs, but taking a lot. So I'll probably use this bottle up in like no time. So this is kind of my buddy right now. Passion flower is a nervine herb. Helps with the nervous system. It helps with recursive thinking. So I find myself just like constantly thinking, and for me, the only things that really help with that are using some herbal support or a mantra. So I can let my mind latch onto words, but it's a mantra instead of like writing emails in my head. So currently it's passion flower, but it's not often that it's passion flower. I would say it's a great herb, but I've never really leaned on it this much. Also, I always lean on ashwagandha when we're busy. And somebody asked how often with the passion flower? Every day. If you're doing, some kind of stint that's like you're really busy and you need it and it's the right herb for you, every day, multiple times per day. Same with ashwagandha, every day, once to twice a day, 2 to 3 grams per day for at least 6 weeks. These things are not meant to be used once. They're meant to be used multiple times. And I'm just going to circle back to that question about the hives. So chronic hives, I asked why. I'm not sure. My panic attack has morphed into hives, so I'm not really sure what's causing it. First of all, I would say I'm sorry, because that feels uncomfortable, and I totally sympathize with all of the anxious people in the world. I don't talk about it a whole time, but I, dealt with anxiety for all of my life, basically, until recently. So it sounds like, and of course I don't know you well, but it sounds like this is stress or anxiety induced hives. And this is a perfect example of a situation where we have a cause and a symptom, right? So there are herbs that can help with hives, but if we're constantly only treating that, we're not addressing this cause. And so I would recommend, digging into where's the anxiety coming from, what situations make it worse, what foods make it worse, what lifestyle habits make it worse, what makes it better, and really working on trying to soften that anxiety, find supports for it, mental health wise, lifestyle wise, and then from a plant perspective, it might be lots of passion flower and ashwagandha and oat and lavender, chamomile, skullcap, rose, all the nervines, those nervine herbs that I love so much. There's just like a couple dozen at the most. Lemon balm, we have California poppy and things for sleep. But anyway, so using those over a long period of time might help relax that anxiety. Your hives might go away with no treatment, for hives. So that is one way to address it. And if you haven't tried that, I would try it. And as a side note, we'll probably have to wrap up here soon because we could talk forever about this stuff. But a side note is that inflammation issues, skin issues, allergies, these are all intricately, connected, and often the gut is central there as well. So gut health and allergies, gut health and skin. If anything is going on with skin and if you're not quite sure what's causing it, or you've never really done like a gut healing protocol, probably want to do a gut healing protocol because they're really, really connected and often causing, often the gut's causing that situation. And the gut and the immune system are, like this too. So you have gut, immune system responses, inflammation responses. They all get, kind of tangled up. And stress can turn all that on too. So, okay, so we should wrap up. Let's see. See if there's any other questions that they're directly related to the subject. Oh, the passion flower. So do you have a favorite herbal tea right now, or do you do passion flower tea? You can definitely do passion flower tea. Supernatural has beautiful passion flower, so you can buy it there. We also put passion flower in our Goodnight Moon blend. Love it. It's a great, great tea. Tastes great. It's really beautiful. So I highly recommend that. Herbal teas right now, because it's hot, I'm doing a lot of tinctures in sparkling water instead. That's my kind of current routine. And on the list for the future is discussing herbal recipes, herbal mocktail recipes. So that's like next up on the docket. All of your questions I add to the list, and we will get to them in the future. So thank you so much for being here. I really hope this was helpful. When this video goes live, feel free to ask more questions and we'll continue the conversation. Talk to you guys soon. Have a great day.